Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and good afternoon to episode 16 of the Make It Rain podcast. A lot of news coming from the podcast. The Rain had 3 games. We got no time to waste. Let's go. That was an accident. Close. Okay, welcome back to episode 16 of the Make It Rain podcast. Happy Monday. It is January 13th. I'm back to baseball. You're working.
Back to school.
You're back to school. You're working. And we've got an editor now for the people that don't know. Nicole's probably going to be editing this video. Nicole, if you want to put something in this video, you can go ahead and do so. We'd like everyone in the comments, go right ahead and welcome her to the Make It Rain team. We're very excited to have her on board. With that being said, let's get in to the Make It Rain part of this podcast. This is the pipeline of all things Los Angeles Kings related. Let's get in to the Los Angeles Kings stuff. There was like nothing Kings related this week.
No, I don't think there was. Kaliev to the Rangers.
Which is awkward for you because you're a Rangers fan.
Dude, it's actually really cool. First of all, Joe, everyone watching the pod, thank you for tuning in. We are now officially a Mehls media production. Super exciting, super pumped to have Nicole on the podcast and on the team. Yeah, Kaliev goes to my personal favorite team, the New York Rangers, which is super cool for me to see. I was within 5 feet of Kaliev when he was with the Ontario Reign, hit the waivers like a few days later, and is now a third liner on the team that I grew up loving, So it's really cool. He's playing with the guys who got me to love hockey again in 2020. So seeing him play with Zibanejad, with Panarin, Lafreniere, all the guys who were on the team in that 2020 season who I watched and got back into hockey and loved the team. Super cool to see him there.
Absolutely. The Arthur Kaliev effect has struck for the New York Rangers.
2-0 since he's been on the ice.
Yeah. Took down Vegas and New Jersey.
And almost took down Dallas. But he wasn't on the ice.
But he wasn't there yet. He wasn't there yet.
He was on the team, but he was a scratch.
Close enough,
Yeah.
but we're not going to count that.
2-0-1.
Quote unquote. And they play Colorado soon enough. Regardless, hi, Los Angeles Kings. How we doing? There's not very much to cover Los Angeles Kings related. Caleb Lawrence is down with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. We know how this guy guy feels about.
Stop.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you. With Caleb Lawrence, Tate Singleton will bring him up on Sunday's game. Was up with the Ontario Reign. He started on Sunday in that 4th line. Him, Doty, and those guys are just kind of bouncing around for now. We'll get Yamson back. That'll bounce around. Jacob Dvorak is finally back in the lineup.
And
Joe
Hicketts
is down.
Yeah.
Yeah, not cool losing your captain. Regardless, we got 3 games to cover. You'll get it all right here in the next 40 minutes or so. As this episode is brought to you by Gowdy Law. We all know having a game plan is key, but when it comes to your family's future, are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help. Specialize in estate planning, Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a ton of money and time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today to start planning for the future. Get estate planning pricing and a free consultation right on their website. It's that simple. The price is on their website. Gowdy Law, make estate planning easy, understandable, and affordable. The link is in the description. One more thing I do want to note. Our hearts and our prayers go out to those that are suffering in the Southern California area with the Eaton fire, with the Pacific Palisades fire. We're praying for them. We're praying for all of the firefighters and all of law enforcement to secure the area and to burn out the flame. The wind has been nonstop in Southern California lately, so our hearts go out to everybody that's working front lines to save homes, save whatever it might be, save families a little bit of what they want. And I'm done with the heartfelt moment. I thank you guys very much for listening to that. With that being said, let's get into Wednesday night with the Ontario Reign back in Sin City versus the Henderson Silver Knights.
Echoing what Joe said, we got midweek hockey in the Sin City as the Reign kick off their 3-game week with the Henderson Silver Knights. Midway through the first period, a beautiful feed down low from Mitch McLean gives Jacob Brabenich a wide open tap in on the power play to make it 1-0 Silver Knights. but the Rain train responded as Ice Cold Krieger scores his first of the year, tying the game at 1. And the score would not change in the second, in the third, but in overtime. Fagimo pots the overtime winner on the day when he found out that he is an all-star. 2-1 the final.
I'm going to quickly cut away from this because I want to get into the goals as soon as we can with this. Samuel Fagimo, it's got to make a little bit of sense, though, that his parents found out he was an all-star before he found out about this.
Yeah.
Because his parents sent some sort of congratulations message to him. We're very excited that Samuel Fagimo has been elected an all-star. We did kind of want to interview him at some point, but
yeah, man, Fagimo.
he's going to Coachella Valley, man. So that's awesome for him. Great for him. Now let's get on to the hockey.
I'll do the goals right now. I'll do the goals. So basically what
go
happened
ahead.
On the power play, Bowman puts it down low for McLean. McLean, kind of a no-look pass. He turns around and just finds Brabnich on the back door. It was a perfect feed. Ward tried to get a lift on the stick. Couldn't get it. Brabnich puts it past Portillo. Never had a chance across the crease. Just a beautiful goal all around. Probably one of the prettier goals that I've seen this season from any team, the Reign or the opposing team. Cole Krieger, left point. First game in a while. We don't really see Krieger that often. You know, when it comes to the pairings, we see Luke Rowe, Dvorak, Hickett's.
Yeah.
We see a bunch of other guys. We don't see Krieger a lot. I think he doesn't have too many games this year. I'll count right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was his 8th game of the year. So, gets a goal. Good for him. Left point, just kind of throws it on net. I think he was looking for a deflection. And it just got all the way through, which is kind of shocking. I thought for sure there was a deflection somewhere, and there wasn't. So, good for Krieger. Gets a goal when he really didn't need it. He bought himself another game with that goal.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Good for him. And then obviously, in overtime, Fagimo. If you think about Fagimo,
the first thing that pops in mind, the trademark one-timer, man.
Trademark one-timer got in, playing the bumper, finds Fagimo, left circle, just fires it on net.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know if bumper's the correct term with 4 people because the Reign are rocking the diamond set in this. He is rocking. Yeah. He is playing quarterback, though. That's all you need to know. Great feed, Fagimo, left circle. Goes cross crease on, was it Lindbaum in net this game?
It was Carl Lindbaum.
Yeah, Carl Lindbaum. Gets the winner. Reign go home happy with 2 points. And also stressing about other obvious things.
Huge 2 points for the Reign.
No doubt about it.
You needed to beat the Silver Knights 100%. One of the worst teams in the entire AHL. And just... You know, they didn't play great this game. Their passing was off. And we'll get to that in the next game a little bit more. But the offensive output was still there. And
certainly,
as long as you have the offensive output, good things are going to happen, especially against the bad teams like Henderson. Yes. And at the same time, Portillo, really good today. Or in that game. Really, 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 really good.
It's starting to take form. We're starting to see what we thought we were going to see in October. Eric Portillo continues to look stellar in between the pipes. And as of now, I mean, for us, we're thinking immediately it's only a matter of time until he's permanently with the Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah.
And the LA Kings have 2 older goaltenders. So for all we know, we could see Portillo get the green light and maybe get the starting job in 2 years.
I think next year is going to be the year.
Or next year. Yeah, absolutely.
Portillo, for sure, next year is probably going to be with the Kings, whether he's a starter or a backup. But at the end of the day, you know, we say it all the time. The Kings have a really promising goalie system coming up. You have Portillo, whose ETA is more than likely going to be next year.
Yeah.
Then you have Carter George, who was in the World Juniors and shined, really. And then you have Hampton
Slakinski, who's the American backup. Had a guy named Trey Augustine not been in net, he would have been there, and he looked really good in the World Juniors as well. No shortage of talent between the pipes for the Los Angeles Kings prospect system.
Yes, 100%.
No doubt about that whatsoever.
Portillo, obviously, all he needs to work on is staying controlled in the crease, which is something I think he struggled with a little bit in Game 3, in which we're going to talk about. But in this game, he looked good, and there was no complaints as far as the the goalie play was in that game. Just the passing needs to get better, and that's really about it. You want to get into game 2 this week?
Yeah, let's get this out of the way quickly as possible. As the Ontario Reign welcome the Wild from the cornland of Iowa in this Friday night matchup, and off we go. Early in the first, Phoenix Copley falls asleep at the wheel, allows an absolute doozy of a goal to Caden Bankier, and it is 1-0 Iowa. Midway and at the end of the first period, with another Clark, that's number 92, cashes in Ontario, except it's not Brant, it's his brother Graham. He scores a couple of goals, both off rebounds, and the Wild take a 3-0 lead into the locker room in the first intermission. Bee-woo, bee-woo, bee-woo. First goalie change of the year. Eric Portillo is out for your Reign in the second period, and he would end up finishing the night. The Reign fail to cash in on a double minor, the only penalty committed in this game, and it would not help them whatsoever as Carson Lambo scores about 7 minutes after the power play. It's 4-0. The Wild are running away with this one. They've gone wild this game. And in the third, Adam Raska gets his first of the year. The Reign had multiple chances to get on the board, but Samuel Halavi says, "You shall not pass." He gets a 34-save shutout, and the Ontario get dominated this game by the final of 5-0. Justin, it's almost like the reality check the Reign needed, because the Reign were sick of beating Henderson 2-1. San Diego in overtime. Like, these teams that we should be beating 6-1, 6-2, 5-1, something down that line, we're beating 2-1 in overtime. The Reign couldn't connect passes getting out of the breakout, and they crippled. And when I mean crippled defensively.
Yeah, a really bad game from the jump. We were making jokes up in the press box saying that the tone of the game was set when the referee fell before the opening faceoff, and that's really how the game went for Ontario.
Yeah.
Their first goal, number 19, who is that?
That is
Bankier.
That's Bankier.
Just from a weird angle, like right of the right circle, kind of turns around, throws a shot on net, looking for a rebound maybe. And Copley looks like he was shocked by it, kind of just throws his glove out there, and it just sneaks in by his short side.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened.
Yeah, definitely a goal you want back. That was not a pretty one.
Not at all.
Second goal of the game, Wild take the entry.
No, that's the break.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was the Fagimo breakaway, and we'll get into the goal scoring or the chances the Reign had. Second goal of the game, Angus Booth on a rebound, loses Graham Clark. He picks up the juicy rebound, goes forehand to backhand, and Phoenix Copley is on a slip and slide in the blue paint.
Yeah.
And Iowa goes up 2-0, and then 45 seconds left. Off the draw, a Wild player picks this puck up, shoots it low. Copley, once again, big juicy rebound. And hello there. Graham Clark, again, puts it away. Backhand, top shelf. Iowa goes up 3-0 through 20 minutes. And this is like the first time in a while we've seen the Reign really like
struggle.
Yeah,
they
big
were
time.
They were struggling big time, and it was tough to see. It's the first time since opening night since we really seen this version of the Reign play this bad. It was a sight, and it was like a humbling experience, because even though that they were winning games, Sturm talked about it after this game that the passing had been off for a while, and they've gotten away with it. And this game, and it continues to unravel. Lambos in the second period, Portillo in net.
Yep.
Top shelf, perfect shot. Can't do anything about that. Lambos just absolutely sniped him.
Yes, 100% agree.
Last goal.
Adam Raska is first of the year from the right side. Right side? So this puck is, fed down low, and then Adam Raska wide open in the low slot, one-timer from point blank range, snaps it over Portillo's glove.
Yeah.
No chance Portillo stops this puck, by the way. The Reign have 3 guys underneath the red line, and it costs them.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah,
absolutely
for sure.
Brutal.
Portillo came in, played fine. I don't think he could have played much better than he did. Portillo just got sniped twice, really.
He got sniped. Holy Moses. Sniped twice. There we go. And the Reign were out of position defensively the whole night. I mean, when you go down 3 goals, though, it makes sense because you might want to leave the zone early, try to generate some sort of chance. But my goodness.
And that's a good point you bring up because they went down 3-0. And the first period, the Wild are kind of surprisingly quick. And I don't think the Reign were really ready for how quick they actually were. And they were playing a lot of dump and chase, the Wild. They were playing a lot of dump and chase and setting up a heavy forecheck.
Yeah.
And they were quicker than I think the Reign really thought.
And the Reign almost, in a way, got beat at their own game.
Yeah, they really did. And so when you go down 3-0, you want to leave the zone early, try to get a breakaway, try to get some goals, a little more offense generated. But I think that when you're in a situation like that, you got to set up your zone exit. When you have a team that's forechecking you that hard, you got to set up a zone exit and get out of the zone, and that's how you play in transition. And the Reign never really adjusted to that. Talked about it earlier in the year, how Sturm doesn't make the in-game adjustments on the fly that well, which is probably his only downside as a coach. And they couldn't generate any offense whatsoever. And the only time they ever got close was a double minor penalty. I believe it was in the second period, I believe.
Yeah.
It was in the second period, double minor.
David Spacek high-sticked Hudon in plain sight. Hudon went down a heap.
I think he went down into the tunnel, and today in the interview, or Sunday night, he has stitches on his chin.
Yeah.
So he really got clipped.
Yeah. He got clipped really good.
Yeah. And so they had a double minor. The Iowa Wild have the worst penalty kill in the entire league.
Yep.
They were at, 71%?
Coming into Friday's game, they were at 71.3%, far and away the worst penalty kill in the American Hockey League, which, oh, God. Like, when the Reign get 4 minutes, and realistically, you take away those first 2 games, because it doesn't really show with the Reign, you take away those first 2 games against San Jose when they went, what?
They were like,
was it 0 for 16, 1 for 16 on the power play?
They were 1 for their first, 21.
Yeah. You take that away, the Ontario Reign probably are top 10, maybe top 5 in the power play department.
Penalty kill. Oh, no, power play.
Power play department, yeah.
Well, actually, I would have to push back on that.
Or maybe
their
top
power
10.
play has not been that good this year. I will say that. They did good on Sunday night. They did fine. But again, the Wild have the worst penalty kill in the entire league.
Yeah.
And so when you have 4 minutes, you're down by 3 in the second period, you got to get a goal on the board. And
they were down 2 actually they were down 3. Never mind. I didn't say that.
They were terrible. Like, they didn't generate really a great chance at all in those 4 minutes. And that can't happen. When you go into a power play like that, I think the first thing you think of in your head is, let's try to get one in the first 2 minutes, right? Get one in the first 2 minutes. Power play is still on. You got 2 extra minutes, right? You don't get it in the first 2 minutes. Now you got to just get a goal, right? And you don't get either, let alone generate a good chance at all. It was really embarrassing. If you're the Reign, you got to be embarrassed against the worst PK in the entire league. It was bad.
Awful.
Yeah.
And then, 2 more goals, 5-0. It was all Iowa. The only thing Reign fans at that point, at least myself and my dad, because it was me and my dad were at that game, were appreciating for or waiting for was some sort of fight to break out, because this game was chippy.
Very chippy.
And tensions really came to a screeching halt in Sunday's game. Or tempers flared, excuse me.
It's really shocking, too, because these two teams don't see each other at all. First time they played since the 2019-2020 season. And usually tensions flare in games where you're division rivals. We see a lot with the Reign and the Firebirds.
Reign goals, too.
Reign goals, we see a ton. Teams who see each other a lot.
Yes.
This game, you don't really expect that. And there was a lot of flair in this game.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I want to touch on before we move on. Early on in the third period, Taylor Ward had a grade A plus chance.
And there's Samuel Halavi just sticking out the right pad and getting a piece of it.
Yeah, Halavi with one of the better saves I've ever seen at a hockey game. That was impressive, to say the least. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, the Iowa Wild, for any of the Iowa Wild people that know this, or Minnesota Wild people as a whole, you know that you have Jesper Wallstedt as your top prospect, top goalie prospect, NHL franchise legend, because I play franchise a lot. he's always a stud. He's always like an 88 overall or higher 5 years into the franchise. That's besides the point. Yeah, Jesper Wallstedt, unbelievable goaltender, had a great first year, kind of having a down start to the year. So in comes Samuel Halavi, and he puts together an unreal Game 2 performance.
100%. And I want to touch on that because, like, when that happens, that takes the air out of you, man. And
Certainly.
And if you've ever played sports, you know, like, I'll make a baseball comparison because we both played baseball. Well, he still plays baseball. I played baseball. It's almost like when you're going into the bottom of the 7th inning in like a high school baseball game, and you know you're like number 2 hitter hits a line drive, heart of the order, line drive, and the center fielder makes a diving play, like a crazy diving play. Takes the entire air out of you, man. It's like you go from, okay, we got a rally going, to, dang, now there's 1 out and our best hitter's up. So even if he does something, we're getting down the order.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt. You know, Ward, if that's a goal, you make it 3-1 early in the third. Now you just focus on one more goal, make it 3-2, then things change.
4-1, actually.
4-1, yeah. You got to get 1, though.
Yeah.
You got to get 1.
It starts with 1, and the Reign can... There's plausible reason to the Reign to pull their goaltender down 3. There's no reason to pull him down 4, and there's definitely no reason to pull him down 5.
Yeah, that game's over at that point.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Reign kind of mailed it in 10 minutes into the third period.
Yeah.
And there's really no surprise to that. Just player shifts. Let's just forget this game even happened.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt about it. So, with that being said, let's get into Game 3 on Sunday afternoon.
The Ontario Reign looked to bounce back from their embarrassing loss Friday night as they faced off with, again, the Iowa Wild. In the first, EA Sports, it's in the game. For the first time since November 15th, Tyler Madden gets the power play goal, and it is 1-0 Ontario. 4 minutes later, Travis Boyd tied the game with a controversial goal, but nonetheless, it is even at 1. Into the second, Joseph, not him, Sassoni? I don't even know. Sassoni gives the Wild the lead, and the arena is airless. Are the Reign really going to lay another egg against the Iowa Wild? You thought wrong. As the Godfather, Glenn Godden answers back with his 11th of the season. The game is not at 2. 3 minutes later, Hudon's gonna score again. 3-2 Reign into the third. Oh my Godden. He did it again. His second of the game, his third point of the game. It is 4-2 Reign, and it would stay that way until the very end. As the stud muffin, Jack Stunica, pots the empty netter. 5-2 the final, and the Reign win the week.
When is the last time the Reign have lost a week?
Man, it's been
It's been a minute.
If we're going by our episodes, I think I went back
5?
to it. No, it was short. It was like episode 8, I believe it was. It was something like that.
Okay.
We're on 16 now.
Yeah.
So we're getting deep into our season.
Yeah.
It's been like 8 weeks.
We're getting deep into the season. We're not even halfway through the season. In
We're not
terms
even
of
halfway
games,
through,
the Reign
but
are...
We're in the grind season. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Absolutely agree. The Reign are 32 games into the year. That's crazy, man.
32 games. Hey, man.
And that's just
fun,
how it
man.
goes, man.
Yeah.
It's Joseph Ciccone, by the way.
Ciccone?
Ciccone.
That's
yeah.
weird.
Shout out Jeff Pope. Thank you for the thank you for the pronunciation sheet. I needed it.
Yo, would
badly.
he hop on? That would be cool.
That would be cool. I agree. Let's get into the goals this game. Woman in Sports Night, and we get off to a hot start. Tyler Madden, second unit on the power play. Halavi falls down almost. So this is a sharp angle shot by Madden. He gets this in. Halavi, he just sneaks by him. Upon further review, this was a goal because this goal was reviewed by the referees. Goal stands 1-0 Reign. Bah.
You make a good point before we started recording that it could be interference. Now that I'm seeing it again, I think that there is definitely an argument. That was probably what they were reviewing now that I see it.
Yeah. It was a Wild player that hit him, however, because the Wild player was going after Tyler Madden behind the net.
Got you. Yeah, I could see how he was arguing interference. That would make sense.
That's fair. Getting into the Wild first goal. Hershey Bears 2-time champ Travis Boyd. This goal was originally called off for goaltender interference. However, this interference happened like too long before the goal happened, so this was pretty easily reversed.
Really weird goal. There was a shot, and Boyd ran into Portillo, who was trying to make a stop, but I think it was already past him.
Boyd
and
gets
then
decked.
It was behind the net. They pass it back out in front. Portillo tries to stop the puck, completely misses, goes right back to Boyd, and he just pots an easy, like pretty much an empty net. There is an argument for interference here. In the moment, I thought that should be a good goal. Right now, recording, and I'm watching it again, and you guys see it on the screen. Mehls Media Production.
Let's go.
It's a good goal. I mean,
Yeah.
he got hit way before that puck even, like, and even after that, he had a chance to save the puck again, and he just completely just, like, missed it like he was a dog.
Yeah.
So, that's a good goal. I don't think there's a big argument for that.
Yeah.
And it's a 1-1 game.
And you could tell by Marco Sturm, it wasn't on video. Marco Sturm ended up getting the news from the ref that they overturned it, and he's like, yeah, I figured it was a goal in the first place.
No, yeah, 100%.
Second period, Joseph Ciccone from Liam Ogren and Hunter Haight at 10:47.
Portillo never stood a chance on this one, man.
God.
Yeah, that's just...
Just a tap in.
Yeah.
Like, defensive breakdown, unbelievable rush out of the Iowa Wild, just perfect pass from Liam Ogren, and just boom, goal.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
2-1 Wild. Now, here come the 4 unanswered from the Ontario Reign. Work to the point. Riley Wall shoots. Glenn Gaudin almost... Actually, no, he does get a piece of this.
Yeah,
And it hits the post and goes in.
It was a really impressive tip because it came from the very top of the zone from the blue line, and those aren't easy to tip in. And Glenn Gaudin, who's not really known for tipping in shots, gets a piece of it, and it was like a perfect placement. Really impressive tip in from Gaudin.
No doubt about it. Glenn Gaudin is 11th of the year from Walsh and Houdon at 13:49. King Charles Houdon, or Houday, as Collazo calls him. He gets his 12th of the year. Absolute snipe. It took a matter of time until Samuel Halavi got beat by the glove. His glove was stellar Friday night. Halfway through this game Sunday, his glove was stellar. It took the Reign going top shelf.
Yeah.
Like, not even like the cleanest shot, just top cheese on Halavi's glove just to get it past his glove. Like, that's a testament to the Wild goaltending.
Yeah, and when Houdon had the puck, Kyle from Hockey Royalty was like, just shoot the puck. Just shoot it. Houdon's a great shooter. He doesn't shoot the puck that often. I think in the first, play of the game, they, tried to do too much with the passing when there should have been a shot, and it just completely, Houdon shoots it, and it was a great shot. It beats Halavi, glove side, and, 3-2 Reign.
Yep. So they get ahead. Third period, here we go. Glenn Gaudin off an entry, gets a little bit of a screen from Cameron Crotty, the captain of the Wild, and Glenn Gaudin, just like your favorite California burger chain, in and out of the net, beats Halavi glove side, and the Reign go up 4-2. Halavi clears the net with about 5 minutes, 4:30 left in the third period.
Yeah.
Fagimo negates an icing, goes behind the net. Jack Stunica tap in. Game, set, match. Ontario Reign win the week and move. Hold on. To 21.
Yeah.
21, 10, 0-1 this year. So great week out of the Ontario Reign. This moves them into a tie for second place with the Coachella Valley Firebirds and the San Jose Barracuda. 4 points behind the division leading. And nope, no longer AHL-ing. The second best team in the AHL in the Calgary Wranglers. The Hershey Bears have a better record now.
Dude, how are the Bears doing it, bro? It's like they care more
They're
about
great.
the freaking
Dude,
AHL
they've
team.
won the Calder Cup 12 times. You know
That's
that,
what.
right? That's crazy.
So they're the New York Yankees of the AHL.
Basically.
The Montreal Canadiens of the AHL.
There you go.
There you go.
Right on cue. Anything we need to really break into? Okay, no. Yes, we do have something to break into because Tate Singleton just earned himself another game with the Ontario Reign.
That was a crazy fight. That was a crazy fight.
And that was some crazy commentary out of Jared Shaffrin.
Yeah, man. That was, first of all, Shaffrin, I mean, he whenever he gets riled up, it's hilarious every time.
Yes, absolutely agree.
Let's put it up on the screen right now. The Tate Singleton fight.
Yeah.
I mean, just haymakers thrown at first from both guys. And then Singleton just grabs him and just left hook after left hook after left hook. And he was connecting, dude. And it was awesome, bro. Like that might be my favorite fight I've ever seen at the arena.
I still would put the Dodi Onyebuchi fight ahead of that.
I know you like the Dodi fight, but that Singleton fight from like a guy that's like 5'9",
He's
dude.
5'9". Carson Lambos, I'm going to give you his height in a moment. He is... Just kidding. I'm not going to get it to you because it doesn't say on AHL. What is wrong with us? Besides the point, he's a defenseman. That's all you need to know. Singleton, first few punches was like he was a street fighter or something. Then he grabs on and just starts throwing left-handed haymakers. Like you're just doing the flicking the right stick up in NHL or something.
That was awesome, man. That Singleton fight was so sick.
And then wrestles him down to the ice and hits him with the clean the hands up after that tilt. Yeah, that had to feel pretty good, huh?
Man, Singleton is a dog, man. Him doing that really woke the crowd. Was that before they tied the game up too?
We're gonna find out.
Because that was in the second period. While he figures that out, I wrote that the Rain were targeting glove side, but I don't think that's true anymore. Going back on it,
this was before. No, this was during the 1-1 part of the game.
Okay,
it was 1-1 at the time.
Either way, I mean that got the crowd riled up. That got everyone riled up. The bench, the announcers, the media, everyone was like, "That was sick."
Yes.
I think the one thing I want to take away from this game is that Portillo, even though that he had a good game, he looked erratic. I don't know if you noticed it.
He was sliding a lot. There was a lot of unnecessary movements.
A lot of like
unnecessary movements, if you want to say it that way.
Everything that the Reign and the Kings are trying to get out of him.
Yes.
And even though Portillo gets away with it because he's a big guy, that's what they want him to contain. They want him to stay in his little box and like in the paint, if you will. And they're working with keeping him more calm.
Yes.
And today I felt like he was really sporadic. And I think that's something that didn't bite him today, but in the future, it's going to bite him against better teams. The Wild, not a good team. So that's something I want to touch on a little bit, but that's about it.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, Eric Portillo, he's going to get that figured out. It's going to only take time, and I think Eric Portillo is going to figure this out. He's also 6'6", so he's got a little bit of a bigger frame to control.
Yeah.
Compared to a guy that might be like 6'2" or 6'3", 6'1" in goal. 6'1" might be a little bit short for a goalie. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. With that being said, there's the rain. It's time for the rain weather report.
Brought to you by Rain. Who's got the 100% this week?
You do, sir.
I do.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go with, I believe, the obvious choice, Glenn Godden.
Okay.
Man, turning back the clock to November, huh?
Yeah, no joke.
Really looking good. Really looked good this week. Outside of obviously the Friday game against Iowa, where they got killed 5-0. Glenn Godden, 2 goals, 2 assists. I mean, he looked a lot like he did in November. He kind of hit a little bit of a cold streak.
Certainly.
But I think when Udon went to the Spengler Cup, I think that naturally that line kind of came down just a little bit. And
woke him up a little bit.
Yeah, it really did.
And I mean, he was the primary assist for the Fagemo winner on Wednesday.
100%.
2-goal game. We were all dying to see the first hat trick for the Rain this year on Sunday. It didn't happen.
That was something I was going to ask you. If they got the hat trick, would you throw your hat on the ice?
This hat, no. I'm going to have to bring another hat in case this happens, man. Because I feel one coming soon.
You feel it?
We got a 4-game week coming. I'm feeling it.
I feel it coming down.
I was singing of the Weekend song. I feel it coming. All right, got it. Anyways, yeah, see, he wanted me to sing that. Man, you're dying for it.
Dying.
Them good old vocal cords, baby. Glenn Godden, 33 points in 32 games this year, 12 goals, 21 assists, 30 penalty minutes, which is kind of shocking, being almost sort of a presence for the Ontario Reign. Hey, I'm not complaining. Glenn Godden is well on his way to setting career highs in the American Hockey League. His current career high is 22 goals in a year and 55 points, which he achieved with the San Diego Gulls, the very bad San Diego Gulls last year.
And this year.
Gosh, they're not much better, if that's a statement to be said. So Glenn Godden's right on pace, man. He's looking very good right now. He's anchoring the first line, anchoring the power play, 1 unit. Another note, in the power play 1, we saw Jack Stunica graced the PP1 towards the end of the game. Yeah.
he did. He was out there with Godin and Udon was out. So that's an interesting move that I saw. I don't know. I was gonna ask them about that, but I didn't know if it was intentional or unintentional. Maybe they just mixed up a little bit by accident.
Yep.
I didn't want to ask him because I didn't want to sound dumb, but
fair.
I did notice that too.
Yeah. So not very much to be said about Glenn Gaudin. He's having a pretty good year if you say that.
100%.
He's averaging a point a game. That's all you need to know. I have the 50%, right?
Yes, sir.
I believe that. King Charles Hudon. Nothing needs to be said. Goal and 2 assists, second star on Sunday. Charles Hudon, he's back from the Spangler Cup, which was in Germany, I believe.
Switzerland, I think.
Or is it Switzerland? It's close. Something in that area.
It was something like that.
It's in Europe, okay? So, Charles Hudon, 12 goals, 15 assists, 27 points in 28 games, rocking a +6, plus-minus, looking very good this year. Let's just say that.
Yeah, kind of echoing what you said. Went to the Spangler Cup, and the Reign, they were still doing good, but Godin, the top line slowed down a little bit. Godin slowed down, Mehls slowed down, and we saw a lot from the second line, the Figimo. Stunica woke up when he was still out. That was when you gave him the 0%, and then he woke up, and I think won 100 last week.
Yep.
And then, who else is on the second line right now? Andre Lee, which Andre Lee looked terrible, by the way, game 2, not to be mean. Looked better today, or Sunday night.
Yeah.
We saw that line wake up a little bit, and the third line woke up as well when Hudon was at the Spangler Cup. So it was like right timing when Udon was out. First line went quiet. Second and third line really exploded. That was the week we saw Pinelli really go off, and Ward had a goal I think in that week and an assist. So Hudon is a big deal to this team. That's why he's an assistant captain, and he deserves this 50% this week.
Definitely agree. In all regards, Charles Hudon is back. He's kind of anchoring that first line alongside Glenn Gaudin. They're both shooters. They both were featured in the weather report. I mean, realistically, it's 100% because Hudon played like 100% this week. It's just Glenn Gaudin just happened to play better.
Yeah, and it was really all in one game.
Yeah.
The freaking 3-point game he had Sunday night. Really, again, looks like November, man. That was how he played when he won Player of the Month.
Absolutely. Yes, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And the 0% is
Riley Walsh.
okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Walsh, did he put up any points this week?
He was. I don't even need to know if he put up any points.
He put up the primary assist on Godin's goal.
Cool. He also imitated the Red Hot Chili Peppers song with "Give it away now."
Yeah.
He had he gave up 2 breakaways on Sunday's game.
He blew a tire on the first one. I forgot what period it was in, but
First period.
Yeah. And
Portillo,
the shooter,
great save.
I don't even think he saved it. I think the shooter fanned on it and just completely
Did he
missed
shoot
wide.
it wide? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just completely missed. And then second one, I don't really recall the second one. I remember him misplaying the puck, and it was another breakaway. And I think the shooter, again, missed wide.
Yeah.
So Walsh really got bailed out by Iowa and the way they played today.
Yeah,
Sunday.
I think we saw the true colors of the Iowa Wild on Sunday.
Yeah, that was
because the Iowa Wild.
That's the Wild in the standings.
That's the Wild that we know because they are 6th in the Central. There's only 7 teams in the Central, might I remind you. They're 12, 20, and 2 at the time we are recording this video on Sunday night. 26 points. That puts them very close to the bottom of the league. That puts them 28th out of 32 teams.
Yeah, that's bad.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's
buddy.
That's the Wild that we thought we were gonna get when we came in. And last week you said ideally you want to win all 3 games, but just take 2 out of 3, right? And that's what they did this week.
We made the focus. I've made the focus for the past 10 weeks. Win the week. Win the week. If you win weeks, those wins stack up. You chase down the division. You're going to get yourself a playoff spot, and good things are going to happen to this franchise.
And not just a playoff spot, the way the Reign are playing right now, and it looks like this is the Reign team that
we saw last year.
Not even
second half of last year.
Not even just that. I think through the first 5 games when they were 1-4, and their one win was honestly kind of lucky because Hellenius just came in huge like last few minutes.
Minute 30, yeah.
we were like, okay, is this the rain we're going to get all year? Like, that's not going to be fun, right?
Yeah.
And they turned it around since then. Month moved to November. They haven't turned back since. I think they've only lost like 5 games since, something like that. And now they're second in the division because they have the tiebreaker over San Jose, and they have 43 points with 21 wins. So they're right behind Calgary with 4 less games played, and they are 4 points back. So they're really catching up to that
Very
1
much.
seed.
And it's not just them, it's everybody in the Pacific Division. Stuff's starting to level out now. We're starting to see the race that we were looking at, or that we thought we were going to see in the beginning of the year. Calgary just got up to a roaring start, like 18 points in the first.
Oh, they were insane.
In the first 3 weeks, they were in wagon territory.
Yeah.
Like, they opened the year 9-1. Now, if we go down the standings, it's Henderson in last with 20 points, San Diego in ninth with 27, Bakersfield outside looking in with 32, and then in the playoffs, Abbotsford with 34, Tucson with 39, Colorado with 41, San Jose, Ontario, and Coachella Valley with 43, and Calgary with 47. The difference in that tied for second placing, it says Ontario's in third on the AHL website. Wrong. The Ontario Reign have more regulation wins than, or actually no, they have more wins, period, than Coachella Valley and San Jose. So realistically, the Reign should be
Coachella Valley's in second.
Yeah, realistically, the Reign should be in second place. However, Coachella Valley has 4 games, or no, Ontario has 4 games in hand on Coachella Valley and Calgary. They have 2 games in hand on San Jose. Dude, the Ontario Reign have the legit shot to start running this division now.
The Reign, I think, have
the
best record through the amount of games played right now. And so there is a realistic chance that the Reign can get a 1 seed this year. And there is a very realistic chance that the Reign are going to be a force in the playoffs to make a run at the Calder Cup, which is really exciting.
Yeah. The Reign are tied with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins for the best point percentage this year.
For sure. Yeah.
In potential points that you can get, the Ontario Reign are at 672, tied with Wilkes-Barre Scranton, the Penguins, which is the Pittsburgh Penguins AHL team, at 672. Let's look at some of these other teams. Hershey, 662. We were just talking about them. The Rochester Americans, absolute wagon. The Buffalo Sabres AHL unit, 671. The Laval Rocket for the Montreal Canadiens, who are only getting better in their system, 662. Yeah. The Texas Stars, who we just saw a month or so ago, 632. The Calgary Wranglers, 653. The Ontario Reign are playing about as good of hockey as you're going to see in the American Hockey League.
Yeah, I echo everything you say.
Like, I can just circle back episode 2 over and over and over again. The Ontario Reign, if there's any year the Ontario Reign win the division, it is this year.
And it's been 10 years since the Manchester Monarchs won the Calder Cup, where we might see Biz come back to the arena, which would be awesome. But
that would be nice.
10 years later, maybe they can win the Calder Cup. Maybe the 5 is the lucky number for Ontario.
Maybe.
Next week, you want to get into next week's schedule?
Next week, we got a busy one on hand, folks. So we're going to have a longer episode next week, probably creeping towards that hour marker next week. Right now, we're about 43, 44 minutes. The Ontario Reign have a double header at the Abbotsford Center in Trucktown, British Columbia, as my assistant coach at Chafee says. Yeah, they're in Abbotsford at Abbotsford Center, Centre, for 2 games, both starting at 7 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Ontario Reign get a couple days off. They come back home 6 p.m. It's First Responders Weekend at Toyota Arena.
Not a more opportune time.
Yeah, no joke. And the Ontario Reign will host the Henderson Silver Knights. Gosh, it just feels like every week they're playing them right now.
Yeah, it was like this last year, too.
Yeah, it was. We got done with all their games before the end of the year. Saturday night, they play the Henderson Silver Knights at 6 p.m., and then they get a matinee game Sunday versus the Calgary Wranglers, who are second in point percentage in the Pacific Division behind your Ontario Reign, and are first in the division in standings. With that being said, thank you very much for watching episode 16. This is a Mehls Media production. and we are very happy to have her on board. One more time, he's Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News. I'm Joe O'Regan. We thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great week. We will see you next week, everybody.